I can vividly remember when Andrew Tate came out, when he was popping, and he sounded so knowledgeable. He might be a very controversial person, but the confidence, the aura he possessed was something I admired. I was like, how did this guy get to this level? Was he born this way? These were the questions I was asking myself, and I had to be honest about it. I asked myself, this A-list actor, this musician, this footballer, this pro basketballer, were they actually born this way? And the answer was clearly no. Those people we look up to, those people we see as a role model, those people we admire, they were not actually like that. Few years back, those same set of people being called the 1% were people that believed in themselves, believed in their dreams, and made a decision to embark on the journey of achieving their dreams. Because we all, at some point, had a dream. I can remember when I was smaller, I thought I would be an astronaut. That was a dream I had at that age. I've had a dream of being an engineer. In fact, in school, I studied engineering, believing that engineering was the way to go, only to get to my third year in uni to discover that I had a passion for something else, not actually engineering. And a lot of people even buy into some other person's dream. You see it in families. Some people become doctors because their father had this expectation or has that expectation of the son or the daughter being a doctor. You see people become lawyers because the father was a lawyer and the father wants the child to succeed in. Like, you see crazy things like that, especially where I'm from, Nigeria to be precise. It's something common around here. People imposing their beliefs, imposing their dreams on you. And if you're not self-aware, if you don't come to that realization that you actually have the power to choose your path, you would end up living someone else's dream in this lifetime. And dreaming or having a dream is one piece of the puzzle. The next piece of the puzzle is actually pursuing that dream to realization, which I believe is where most people get stuck, because the system is not programmed to enable you or aid you in achieving your dreams. Rather, the system is set up in such a way that they want you to be in a loop. They don't want you to be the creator of your own life. They don't want you to be independent of their rules. So they don't do anything, or they don't support people or aid them in achieving their dreams. I'm talking about the government setup, the way the system is being set up. But that does not mean that people don't realize their dreams. People do. In fact, a small amount of people, which we know as the 1%, going back to our role models, the celebrities, the actor, the musician, the pro footballer, the whatever profession the person might be. In every profession, there is always a set of people at the top. And those people are people that understand that in as much as the system is designed in a way that does not enable them to get to that level, there is actually a way to get to your dream. And a lot of people are stuck in that limbo or have that question of, how do I realize my dream? Because I don't have the finances, I don't have the support. In fact, my family is not well-to-do enough to push me to help me realize my dream. You might want to be a musician. You might have a dream of being a musician. You might actually have a dream of being a comedian. But you believe that since the system does not support or have a path designed for you to realize your dreams, then it's not possible. Then you have to settle. That's the trap. The 1% understands that the obstacle is always the way to greatness. There's a book I read titled The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday. And in that book, it makes you understand that that problem, that situation that you believe is impossible to overcome, is actually the stepping stone to the next level. So if you have a dream, I urge you to write down what possible limitations do you have right now stopping you from achieving your dreams. Now, this might sound vague to a lot of people, but it was something that it took me a long time to understand, that writing down your goals, writing down your problem is a way to get it half solved. You might not believe in it, but I want you to give it a trial. Write down your limitations. Write down the possible reasons why your goals cannot be achieved. And after writing this, I want you to further break it down into little chunks. Now, I'll give you an example with my life. When I was done with uni, I have not made a single dollar. So at that point, I was stuck with the question of how do I make a dollar? How do I stop being dependent on my parents? And I had to ask myself that question. And it made me realize that being a Nigerian, because I'm Nigerian, and studying chemical engineering, for me to get a job, I would need to have connections. I would need to have people. Because in a pool of 1 million applicants, the chances of me getting that job is slim, but does not mean that I cannot believe it enough to get the job. But my mind was not fixated on getting the job because I believe that there are smarter ways to go about making money because we all want financial freedom, right? So what I did was I looked at the market. I discovered that learning software engineering as a skill is a smarter choice that will pay me much more on the longer run than getting a 9-to-5 engineering job. So what did I do? I had to sit my ass down. I got my sister's old laptop because I never had one. Then I started watching YouTube videos on coding. I started practicing. The laptop was bad, but I never cared because I understood the plan. The plan was to get good at this, apply for a job, get the job, get good at doing the job, then build my own company off the skill. That was the plan, which actually changed later. But at that point, the plan was crystal clear. What I did was I soaked myself on watching YouTube videos, practicing, failing, because I understood that nobody was coming to save me. And it took me about 1 year, 2 years to get good at the skill, and I got a job. But the lesson in the story is that once you write down the obstacles, the problems, because I've seen someone learn coding starting out from phone. The person started writing code using his mobile device. I did not experience that. But the possibility is out there. You can check on YouTube and you see someone's story being something like that. So no matter the situation you are in, we as humans, we always want the best. You watching me on YouTube, I did not get good at talking to the camera. I sucked. I had anxiety speaking to the camera. I'll have my idea well articulated, but immediately I turn on the camera, it looks as if everything vanishes. But what did I do? I understood that for me to get good at talking to the camera, I needed to keep failing, and keep failing to get good. I never had the camera too. I never had a professional camera. I was using my phone. I had to use what I had. I was never fixated on the quality of my video being top notch. In as much as deep down, I knew I could be better. But still on that, I understood that for me to get better, I need to do more. And I learned that from Alex Hormozi. It's all a numbers game. The first time will be bad, the second time will be bad, the third, fourth, fifth time will be bad, till the 50th time. But if you look at the 50th result and look at the first one, they can't be the same. So I want you to understand that you can actually achieve anything you want in life. My YouTube video might not have 1 million subscribers yet, but I believe that if I keep showing up to this channel twice every week, at least once every week, if I do this for 10 years, then I have 10 years of experience making YouTube videos. And it's not possible that I would remain at the same subscriber count. When I started this channel, I had only 3 subscribers. Only 3. I was very bad at making videos. I was so anxious that thinking about making a YouTube video made me want to throw up. But right now, I feel happy making it because I understand what it takes to improve. I understand what it takes to get out of your comfort zone. It takes a lot of grit. It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of emotional turmoil. I understand that, and that's why I'm making this video. I don't want you to be caught up in the whole limitations of why you cannot do it. It's always a way, because someone in your situation somewhere made it work. I'm not saying that some people's situation is not better than yours, but I'm telling you this for free. The more shit you come from, the greater you will become. The more grit you have, the more resilience you will have. You can't compare someone that is coming from the slum straight to the top. The thinking is different. The belief is different. For you to actually come from the slums to the top, it's no easy feat. Your parents might have not even done it, and you did it. So if you look at someone doing it or someone that has done it, all you need to do is tell yourself, if this guy did it, then I can do it. The worst thing you can tell yourself is finding reasons why the person was able to do it and why you don't have the luxury of options or gears. You see someone not making a YouTube video. What's your reason? I don't have camera. But you have a phone watching others. Now I have a camera. I do. But when I started, did I? No, I never had. Somehow the universe will provide it for you. God will only help you when you're helping yourself. So you don't sit and think about it. All you have to do is to move, act. I want you to act. Yours might be making YouTube videos. Yours might be starting a new business. Yours might be getting into a new relationship, talking to that girl. It can be basically anything. It's still the same concept. Don't get it twisted, man. The same thing, the same patterns repeating itself. That's why when you see someone at the top, it looks like everything is working in favor of them. Now, what's happening is they have built the resilience. They have built the inner skills. Because when we talk about skills, nobody talks about communication being a skill. Nobody talks about having grit being a skill, having confidence being a skill. Other things are inner skills, but we see skills as knowing how to do a job or having a handwork or having something more physical. But the inner skill is much more important than the physical because it's the inner that propels you to be good at the physical. If you see anybody at the top, whether it's a comedian, a musician, when you have a conversation with them, you will see that they think differently from you. They see things differently. Their perspective is actually different. And that's not bad. All you need to do is to understand that you can get to that level. 99% of them I wouldn't say 99%, I would say that none of them were like that. So just have it at the back of your mind that you need to keep showing up. You need to do a lot of inner work because it is the inner that determines the outer, as within, as without. But the system will teach you to do it the other way around. The system will make you believe that you need to work harder to make it. No, all you need to do is to work on yourself. And I don't mean that you should not work harder because me making this video is kind of work. We have the spiritual plane, we have the mental plane, we have the physical plane. What I'm doing right now is the physical part of it. But for me to be able to make this video, I had to overcome the mental plane, the mental doubt, the fear, the anxiety. Those ones are the ones you don't see, but they are there. They are the ones that will even tie you down from making the physical movements. But the system will tell you, do. Nobody talks about what you're facing on the inside because it's the inside that is holding you from doing it. The problem is not setting the camera. The problem is your mind telling you that you need a professional camera. Nobody is seeing that one. It's the thoughts. It's the inner. It's an inner game. It's a mind game. The universe is mental. Everything you're seeing today, it started from the mind. Whether it's a car, whether it's a house. Before you build a house, whether if you've seen a house that is more like a masterpiece, something that is extraordinary, think about it this way. Someone actually pictured it and started putting in the work to bring it into reality, bringing it into life. The first off, think about it. They start by designing it. They start by doing a lot of work for it to come into reality. You see a Rolls Royce. The Rolls Royce did not just fall from heaven. It was actually thought about. It's an idea that started from somewhere by someone and he started doing the work. So everything starts from the mind. So you making a YouTube video, you should not even think about the YouTube video. You should think about the inner work. Because if your inner is not aligned, bro, you're not gonna do shit. I'm just using YouTube as an example. You can extrapolate it to other areas of your life, man. It's still the same thing. It's not gonna be easy, but when you have a deep understanding, when you have a good understanding of what you should be working towards, I feel like it will help you to work better. I don't want you to be fixated on what they're selling you, work hard. It's not about hard work. If it's about hard work, the bricklayer will have more money than It's about you understanding how reality works. It's about the spiritual, the mental, and the physical plane. If all three are not aligned, bro, even going to church doesn't do shit for you, bro, because you have access to God. I'll make a video on this next time, but I'm just urging you to understand that the obstacle is always the way. It's always the pathway to greatness. What you think is holding you back is actually what you need to learn, to level up and become better. So don't be scared of problems. See me right now, I don't have everything figured out, but I just have that conviction. I just know that things will just work out. So far as I'm aligned, emphasis of being aligned, emphasis on being aligned. I did not even feel like making this video. I don't need to feel like making it. You don't need to feel like doing it. All you just need to do is to align yourself. And I just see myself making this video. So if you like this video, I want you to share it to a friend. I want you to drop a comment, something you've learned, or you can teach me something in the comment section. And I want you to subscribe to my channel so that YouTube will push it to more people. Peace out.